Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here, and welcome back to Aurora Park. Alright, so, hey, we are back in Smuggler's Den, which is our sort of Fallout, gritty Star Wars inspired area of the park. And look, we have some new buildings, and you know, with the World's Fair pack that just came out, about a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago. Actually, I think it's been almost 2 months, at least, as the time I'm recording this video. I thought it would be kind of cool to add some worldly flair to our park. Whenever they come out with new DLC, I always like to try and include some of it into Aurora Park. And, last time they came out the Vintage Pack, which I did with the domed area over there, as you can see. And so, yeah, so here is some stuff from the World's Fair pack. The World's Fair pack included a lot of new shop types, and of course, one of the coolest things is the addition of restaurants. And the restaurants function pretty much exactly the same way hotels do. You have a single block that acts as your restaurant entrance, and then you add like the little separate each individual blocks. Like if we go inside, you'll kind of see, there's like the blocks there, and then here you see the blue building, that's sort of the entrance. So those individual blocks sort of act as like the tables almost in your restaurant. It's, the more of those you have, the more guests, you can serve in your restaurant. So I thought it'd be cool to kind of create like, even though like it looks like three separate buildings and has three separate entrances, I thought it would be cool to make it just like one restaurant, because the restaurant can serve each of these types of food. Now I guess I could have done separate shops for each one, because besides the restaurants, there are new shops as well. So there's Chow Mein Chow, there's Just Ribbon, and of course the Burrito Bonanza. But I just thought it'd be cool to make use of the restaurants, since that's a pretty big new feature in the game. But I thought it was be like a pretty cool addition to, because I was trying to figure out, okay, where will some of this stuff fit from the World's Fair pack? Where would it fit in Aurora Park? And really, I felt like Smuggler's Den was the best choice, because it has that the vibe of this area, at least in my opinion, is that everything has sort of been assembled with other things and other parts. You know what I mean? So it's like, you have our monorail, which is sort of, it looks like it's been assembled by random like ship pieces. And, especially over here in our little food court area, it's sort of supposed to be like, this is like a part of a ship, and this over here too, that have kind of been converted into, shops. So trying to, keep up with that same sort of theme. If we head on back over, I was like, this is sort of like it's not a big main street, but it's sort of the main street area of this section of Smuggler's Den. And so we needed some more stuff, because really all we had over here, we had a little Pip Shop water, and then over here we have some chicken. And then over here, what do we have? So we have a food stall over here. So we have Pizza Pen, and then we have Looney Balloons over there, actually. Was that Looney Balloons? Yeah, Looney Balloons. I just realized the sign says food and drink. I should probably swap that out with like an actual drink stand. That would make much more sense, especially since it says food and drink. But yeah, so, I tried to make it, I tried to theme each section of this building to fit with, each restaurant type. So I tried to make this, give that a little bit of Asian flair. I tried to make the barbecue ribs I tried to make it look a little bit more simple, because whenever I see like barbecue places, you know, if they're not like big chains, if they're like, you know, kind of more local mom and pop type places, they always kind of have like they're almost kind of like shacks. Like, you know, like let's go to the barbecue shack and get some really good barbecue. That's what I think of when I think of barbecue places. So I try to give it that look. You know, it's fairly simple as far as scenery or theming goes. You know, so I tried to add some of the sci-fi stuff on it as well. So, you know, like we have the cables here that power the barbecue rib sign, and it kind of goes up in there and then goes down there, and actually have added, which I'm looking at this now, this is supposed to be like sort of the vent where they're barbecuing, but I'm wondering it should probably be, maybe it should be like steam coming out of there. Just because, I don't know, it looks more like it's venting like barbecue. You know, I guess it's barbecue is smoked, so that's smoke. And then I added like the little generator piece there from the Studios pack. And then the same thing with the Burrito Bonanza, just try to give it, you know, sort of fit the theming of the shop type, and still, again, having a little bit of the sci-fi elements to it. So, yeah, that's pretty much the what we have going on. I didn't do too much. You know, I put a little bit of the side here because some of this is going to be visible. But what I'm gonna end up doing is we're gonna have the building sort of continue along this way. So this is gonna almost make like a little alleyway right here. And so what's probably gonna happen is the corner of this building will probably be covered up with the other building that's going over this way. So, you know, the side of it, there's not too much going on right here. And then the back of the building, again, is not, you know, there's not a whole lot going on. Like you'd really only see it if you're down in this area of the park, which hasn't even been started yet. But it looks, you know, it looks done enough that it, you know, looks like a complete building. Because really all the theming is going to be on the front, you know. And the other thing I did, with the exception of the barbecue ribs, because that's actually just a wall piece from the base game, the front of the Chow Mein Chow and the Burrito Bonanza are new wall types, which also came with the World's Fair pack. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I've been very, very slowly trying to learn 3D modeling, because if you know, you don't really follow Planet Coaster, they just released, again, at the time I'm recording this, they just released the Theme Maker's Toolkit, which allows you to import objects and things you've made in a 3D modeling program and import them into the game, which is pretty huge. That's a huge deal. There's so much potential there. I personally have zero 3D modeling experience, so I'm very slowly just kind of teaching myself and seeing what I can come up with. And one of the things I want to do with that, and I'll just go ahead and show it here. I wasn't really planning on doing this, but you know, what the heck, why not? I decided to start to create a weenie for Aurora Park, which, again, I described what a weenie is in a previous episode. But if you didn't watch that episode, or you're not familiar, a weenie, when it comes to theme parks, is sort of like the main. It's like what draws your eye. For instance, Cinderella's castle in Magic Kingdom at Disney World. That's a weenie. It's when you walk in, it's like one of the first things you see. You can see it almost anywhere in the park. And so I was trying to come up with something like that. And this is sort of my start. And again, this is not with Theme Maker's Toolkit. This is just stuff, you know, assembled with pieces from the game. And the kind of my thought here is that what I wanted is I wanted something on top, so it's not just like flat like that, like, I don't know, some like sphere or something like that. But you know, you walk into the park, like this is our main street, it would be the first thing you see. And then, you know, you kind of come up here, the pathways split. You can either go to Atropa Gardens, you could go to Smuggler's Den, or you could go forward to our, what will eventually be the sort of sci-fi mining area. But yeah, this was sort of, oops, I didn't mean to do that. But this is sort of like my kind of planning, trying to figure out what I want to do for our park, because that's something our Aurora Park is definitely missing. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, and part of what I want to do with the Theme Maker's Toolkit is maybe create like a 3D, you know, asset that I can bring into the game itself. But I think it's a pretty good start so far. It definitely, you know, it sort of almost looks like it could be like a rocket, or maybe like the bottom of a foot for like a giant robot or something, or like a giant walker, almost like the AT-ATs or something from Star Wars. But yeah, so that's kind of, you know, kind of looking to the future of Aurora Park. Gonna have something like this here. It may end up being this, or it may end up being something that I try and create with the Theme Maker's Toolkit. It's all that's sort of up in the air, but you know, I wanted to kind of give you guys, you know, let you know that I haven't done a lot of Aurora Park episodes lately, but you know, trying to show you guys that yes, stuff is being done. And I actually did a little bit down here as well, so this is actually going to be a indoor or underground, I guess, roller coaster. So if we walk in, we have a little bit of a queue here. We have our little, there's our archer. Again, I always say I place these archer here for, to keep my sense of scale, try to keep everything as a realistic size. And so this is the queue for the roller coaster, and then it kind of comes over here, and this is where I'm at with this. Have not done anything else. So, you know, again, just trying to show you guys that yes, work on Aurora Park is still being done, even though I haven't really released too many videos recently. So if we head on back over to, let's go back to Smuggler's Den, check out our fancy new area. Oh, let's look at it at nighttime too. I do like the nighttime shots. The light, of course, lighting in Planet Coaster is always top notch, and something I've been trying to do a lot with this park is have like a really heavy focus on the lighting, you know, for when you want those nighttime shots. And I think it looks pretty cool. I like the lights here. I think those look really good. I like the, if you didn't notice, the like little dragon lamp post here. It looks really good. And then I don't know why I added this little flashing light there. I just thought it looked kind of cool. And from the Studios pack, I actually added some street lights because the color scheme actually kind of matches with the Burrito Bonanza. So, you know, again, just trying to keep that whole vibe of, you know, Smuggler's Den, trying to make it look like a, you know, run-down kind of futuristic area. So yeah, that is pretty much it for Aurora Park this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this little look. I know there wasn't a time lapse, but I felt it was more necessary to just do, you know, a real-time kind of look at what I built. And yeah, so also if you guys haven't seen my other videos about Shady Gorge Park, that is a stream only park that I'm doing over on my Twitch channel. If you're not following me on Twitch, the link is down in the description of this video, and all the videos I post is just twitch.tv/8bit_Josh. And so, you know, follow me over there. That way you can watch when I build in Shady Gorge Park. I am doing follow-up videos for Shady Gorge Park for YouTube. Just kind of, they're usually going to be quick videos kind of showing off what we built in the streams, but there's no real, like, you know, schedule for those videos. It's really dependent on how much we get done in the stream. So yeah, so look forward to that. And of course, as always, look forward to more Aurora Park goodness. Be sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. Let me know what you like about our new building here and what you don't like, or suggestions, feedback, any of that good stuff. I love hearing it all. So with that, I am 8-Bit Josh, and thanks for watching. See ya.